As of today, Young Justice has been cancelled once again. This is very sad news, but it wasn't totally unexpected, since DC obviously doesn't know what they're doing right now. DC is cancelling a lot of their shows right now, with Titans only having one more season before its end. Doom Patrol was cancelled, and the Batgirl movie is probably not ever going to see the light of day. And now, Young Justice. I do admit, the newer seasons will never hold up to the likes of Season 1 and 2. Even the numbers aren't as high as they were on the earlier seasons. But that's not all their fault. You have to remember, Season 1 and 2 were on Cartoon Network. A network on television you didn't have to pay for. Anyone could watch it. But HBO Max is a streaming service, with its ad-supported plan costing $9.99 per month. That may not seem like a lot, but that's with ads, and it adds up. Not everyone can pay for a streaming service. But we're not here to talk about streaming services. Young Justice in its early seasons, Season 1 and 2, were a hit. Everybody loved them. Everyone who watched it. But there wasn't enough sales, and it ended up getting cancelled. In 2019, the show got revived for a Season 3. And then later on, now the most recent season, Season 4. We thought Young Justice was doing great. And we saw a whole bunch of new characters, and old characters return too. Young Justice brought characters that nobody would have cared about, and made you love them. They even brought back characters like Razor from Green Lantern, the animated series. That character hadn't been seen since that show got cancelled. I just want to take a moment to enjoy that Josh Keaton plays Black Spider in this, and Black Spider is portrayed as evil Spider-Man. I find that hilarious.
Yoink! I remember when the only thing more disarming than my webs was your disarming smile, Chesh. Now you just look sad.
And what sucks is we never got a conclusion. The whole story, since Season 1, was about Vandal Savage versus Darkseid. And that story never got closed up. And it most likely never will. I do not see a third revival happening. Warner Brothers has made their mistake. Yes, Young Justice is gone, but it's not forgotten. There are many people out there who still love this show. Even if they didn't like the latest season, it still has to hurt them in some way. Without this show, we may not know Superboy or Wally West to the extent that we now do. Because they were just sidekicks. We didn't know anything about them. As little children, we didn't really care. Young Justice changed that. There are so many unclosed storylines. Jason Todd, Damian Wayne, Vandal Savage versus Darkseid. Young Justice wasn't afraid to dive into the deeper storylines of the DC Universe. More serious topics. Characters had feelings. Take Beast Boy in Season 4, for example. He blamed what happened to Geoforce on himself, when it wasn't his fault. He had the responsibility of being a leader. Then Superboy died, and he thought that it was his fault. He was dealing with all of these things, and he became depressed. He started pushing people away.
Sorry, did I just hear you say you figured everything out on your own? 'Cause no friggin' way. Gar, you never had to figure nothing out alone. I was there after you lost your mom. It was bad, real bad, but you got help. From me, from Rita, from Megan. And 'cause of that, you never lost your optimism, your desire to do right, to help people, like how you helped me. I was nothing but a brain stuck in a friggin' metal jar. But you showed me the only jar holding me back was the one I put myself in. You set me free. And then our little Doom Patrol had to go and make the ultimate sacrifice. 'Cause that's what us heroes do, right? Rita, Chief, Val, gone. Game over. Then they found my friggin' head at the bottom of that river and woke me up. My only thought was that I should have died too. And again, you were there. Convinced me that my surviving was a gift. The last gift I could give them that's gone. That Garfield Logan would never have abandoned his friends, his family, or the world like you're doing now. So if you think I'm gonna sit back and let you lock your brain away in this premier building jar, well, you got another thing coming, kid.
You came back from the dead to give that speech? Next.
Now, does that sound like some kid show garbage? I don't think so. While I do understand that Season 1 and 2 were more targeted for kids rather than Season 3 and 4, because it was taken off of Cartoon Network, and they had more free reign. But still, even the earlier seasons let their characters feel emotion. Take Season 1, for example. Kid Flash shown to be some funny, laid-back, quirky character. But in one of the last episodes of Season 1, it is shown that he can get serious when he needs to be. He has to take a heart in a frozen container to this patient who's about to die, and he's on a time limit. The episodes that make Young Justice shine are the ones where it slows down and you get to connect with the characters. To me, I think that the show would have ended with a cliffhanger either way, because that's just how Young Justice is. The show is the type of show that will most likely never get resolved in its issues, and when some are, they bring up new ones. But that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It lets your imagination flow of what could have been. But what you won't get is the sad part. That's all I really have. Goodbye, Young Justice.
Don't you just love my balls?